If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Mike Nugent serenaded as he comes onto the field. Not bad when you're a kicker and there's new.
Other football tweet.
What other
about
football
the was
tweet?
it the Bengals? I forgot who it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
There's in overtime, after there was the exchange of balls, so now it's sudden death overtime. They kick a field goal from 50 yards, of course, as it must be, and 40 yards out plus the 10 plus the hike and distance. So it was like 52-yard field goal, and there it was. And if there's tense, right? Everybody's silent, and the ball comes up, and it careens off the left upright and goes in for the win.
Wow.
And I said,
I remember this.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember this
That's
tweet.
what I'm saying. So I'm there and I said, wait, the angle of this, how long is it? So I checked the stadium on its configuration, what's longitude and latitude, and I said, I did a quick calculation, and I tweeted, the winning field goal in that game was aided by a 1/3 of an inch deflection to the right from Earth's rotation.
The sun just now rising over the horizon for the morning. Beautiful. Such a beautiful sight. Be honest with yourself. You know that light right there is close and small. Look at that, how it's brightly lighting up, like that circle around it, around the clouds. A distant light source does not behave in this way, but a close one does.
Joe brought it home from the office. He gave it to Betty and one of his kids, and to Betty's mother. But Betty's mother went back to California the next day. On her way to the airport, she gave it to a cab driver, a ticket agent, and one of the charming stewardesses. At school, Joe's kid gave it to some other kids, and Mrs. Merrill got it and gave it to her husband. In California, Betty's mother gave it to her best friend, Dottie. But Dottie had a heart condition and she died. But before she died, Dottie gave it to her girlfriend, the mailman, the paper boy, and the vet when she went to pick up her chihuahua.
If a swine flu epidemic comes, this is how it could spread. You'll want to be protected, especially if you're elderly or chronically ill. Get a shot of protection, the swine flu shot.
So NASA just discovered 65 more planets to add to their list of over 5,000, and people actually believe this stuff. Come on. Little experiment I did. I'm using a small flashlight to represent the sun, and it's about an inch off the ground. And I'm also using a piece of cardboard that I cut slots into it to represent the clouds. Now you will notice, I could have started back a little bit further, but it's far enough. You can see. You will notice the further I am away from the light source, the flashlight in this situation, the more parallel the light rays will be. You notice the closer I get to the light source, you will see the light rays begin to form angles which lead back to the source of light, creating corpuscular rays, which is exactly what we experience when we observe the sunlight and the rays peeking through the clouds. They did sponsor the Oscars, and it seems they are going to release a med for this disease. So I would not be one bit surprised, especially the way this world works, that this is not a coincidence. Good morning. To all the globe believers out there, look, you're the ones that believe and they make the claim that there is curvature and there's rotation. So therefore, you have to prove that. You have to show scientific experiments, repeatable, that provides evidence and proof for your model, for that claim. It's not on the shoulders of someone who knows the earth is flat to prove curvature exists, because through experiments and observation, that's not what we see. You can use your own eyes. We never see curvature, we never see rotation. And no experiment ever proves that. So you have to do the work and prove what that claim is. Prove that claim to be true. Good luck. If the diameter of the earth is measurable and that anyone can do it, then do it and prove your claim. Prove it. You should use the scientific method and do repeatable experiments that I can do, you can do. Prove it. You just said that the earth is measurable. The diameter of the earth is measurable. So therefore the curvature and the rotation should be measurable as well. The problem is you cannot do it, but you have to prove that claim. So prove it.
Really took your finger and poked hard at it, you could poke right through the outer skin of the spacecraft. It was about the thickness of 2 layers of aluminum foil. But it's the kind of thing that you were reasonably cautious that you didn't jab any pointed objects through.
The skin of the lunar module is so thin that you could punch a hole right through it.
The skin, the aluminum alloy skin of the crew compartment, was about 12 thousandths of an inch thick. That's equivalent to about 3 layers of Reynolds wrap that you would use in the kitchen.
The sun just now rising over the horizon for the morning. Beautiful. Such a beautiful sight. Be honest with yourself. You know that light right there is close and small. Regardless of which model, whether you believe it's a ball or you know it's flat, the sun from your perspective looks like it's rising over the horizon. It really doesn't prove or disprove either model. It's just like street lights on a long road, long flat road. The ones that you can't see yet as you're driving, as you get closer, they appear from your perspective to rise over the horizon. Even though we both know that's not the case. They're the same height as the street lights that you're passing. So man, stop trying to catch somebody in something and maybe think for yourself. Maybe do a little research on your own. See you, bud. Good luck next time.
What difference does it make? You can't figure out what difference it makes? If you can't figure out what difference it makes that the people running your world have fucking lied to you over and over your whole life, if you can't figure out that someone lying to you is trying to control you, suppressing of information, of knowledge, is control. Deception of information and knowledge is a form of control. So what difference does it make? It makes a big difference, because once they start omitting information or lying about information about where you live, they're doing it to control you. Period. Why am I having to explain this to critical thinkers in the truth movement? Where you live, it's been a lie the whole time. And if everybody would just come together and demand answers, they would be in checkmate. They would not know what the fuck to do. They cannot prove it. They can't prove the globe because it doesn't exist. So once you call on them, they're done. You then remove them from power and go from there. That rips down all the other conspiracies. You then have access to all these top secret government files, the national security that they hide all the evidence under. The way you control billions of people is to keep them divided and fighting each other. So they focus on anything and everything but you and how you're controlling them all.
Hey, funny comment, by the way. I'll give you props on the joke. That's pretty funny. But, man, your proof of curvature, you can't prove it. So your proof of curvature, let's see, you've told me to go on a website to prove curvature. You told me to go to the North and South Pole and look at the stars to prove curvature. And then you told me to go to the ocean and get in a hotel and look out and I can see the sun from a higher elevation of an ocean. Now, I don't know about you, but couldn't I prove curvature regardless of where I'm at on a sphere? Shouldn't I be able to prove it anywhere if it existed? It's a funny shaped ball you got there, man. Good luck, buddy. All right, you said atheism is not a belief system, nor is it a religion. Then I asked you two questions in the comments. I said, do you believe in the existence of a creator? You said no. That right there is called a belief, which means that is a religion. You have to believe that a creator does not exist. That is a belief. And then I asked you, do you believe in the Big Bang? Do you believe in evolution and gravity? And you said yes. That is a belief system. All three of those that I named, Big Bang, gravity, and evolution, are all theories. And that is part of your belief system. So yes, atheism is a religion. Good luck with that, buddy. Hey, those are all good questions. If you research it, you said, are there not pictures to support this? Those images are CGI images. They're computer generated. There's actually Robert Simmons is a NASA digital artist that says that the Earth is Photoshopped because it has to be. When he made the blue marble, you said whenever you see a boat going over the horizon, why does it disappear? Well, it does disappear, but then you could actually bring it back into focus with a high zoom camera or a high zoom telescope. So we've done debunked that one. And why can I not see Chicago from New York? Well, your eyes can't see forever. Your eyes cannot push through the atmosphere forever. That does not disprove flatness at all. There are many things that support a flat earth and not a globe earth. Thank you, brother.
They are demonizing flat earth, that's for sure.
Because there's fucking more land and their whole system crumbles if people knew that. Everything stops. There's no more taxes. There's no more house taxes. There's no more gasoline charges. They're fooling us that everything is scarce, that we have to abide by their system and their laws because this is all there is. But if there's not all there is, then they lose it all. They wouldn't be able to control us in any form if people found this out.
We only have one shot at this guy. Okay, a little left. Okay, now factor in the spin. No. Damn it, man. Okay, what direction are we? East, west, north, south, northeast? Factor in everything. We need to know exactly the direction, the spin of the earth, and how to combat it, or else we're gonna miss. There's no spin of the earth. Take the shot, retard. But that would mean Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong, and you miss every single shot when we do this. If we miss this shot, our location will be blown. We've been here for 4 days shitting in little cans. Tell me the spin of the earth. Like, okay, down to the left 16 inches. No. They saw us. I missed a shot. I guess it was spinning a little faster than I thought. Oh. Globe, Earth, sniper. I can see the mirage. No, that's the target. Must be a mirage. Well, I've done the calculations. 8 inches per mile squared. I wouldn't be able to see him. It's a mirage. I'm not taking the shot. It's him! Like, every sniper just shoots people. That's a fucking mirage. Or that means Neil deGrasse Tyson, the bike thief with the answers, is somehow misleading me. Globe, Earth, sniper. Okay, if you factor in the curve. This is clearly a mirage.
Close your eyes and just... Am I moving? Am I spinning? It's that easy. We're not.
The Earth is stationary, and that is scientific, not pseudoscience.
The Earth is spinning at 1,040 miles an hour. You can't feel it. You can't measure it. You can't observe it. You can't repeat it. But trust us.
People are just deceived. I mean, I grew up from kindergarten. Here's a globe. They gave them a globe at graduation to take home like an inflatable baseball.
So why are they teaching the globe model? Well, the globe is a container, and it's a container of all the known land.
If there's more lands,
in the late 1800s, they were talking about more land beyond Antarctica.
The North Pole is a biggie.
Very glamorous destination.
What if we all took our compasses out and just followed them until it stopped?
Oh, it is that far. Oh my God.
Wake up.
What if we can truly become free?
They needed a new model because they wanted a new world order.
Open your eyes.
The physics of water is to find and maintain level.
This is the year of flat Earth.
The next level.
The heliocentric theory is bullshit.
Get ready for the next level.
The next level. The truth cannot be stopped.
All you globe earth deniers out there, I have 100% proof right here. There's 2 shipments here. One's going to America, Check it out. This side up. And then we have another shipment right here going to Australia. What? That's right. Stop denying the globe. This is proof. But they went to the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins going round and round in working out the IRA thing. And Neil stepped onto the moon and said, "One small step for man, a giant leap for mankind." Good line, but not his line. It didn't feel like his line. You know, I bet that was just given to him, and he was coming down the steps going, "Small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. A small step for man, a giant leap for mankind." Don't get it wrong, Neil. Don't fuck it up. Here we go. I'm a small man with a giant leap. One man, small giant, two men's. What is it? Because you got to say something. You can't get out onto the moon and go, "Oh, it's all sticky. It's covered in jam." You can't land on the moon and go, "Fucking hell, I've been in that space, go." Right, I need a piss. You can't land on the moon and wind down the wind and go, "Is this Sea Tranquility? Sea Tranquility? Is this Sea Tranquility? Sea Tranquility?" There's no one around. But he had a sense of humor, so he should have used it, because there was that lunar module there, fixed camera, just fixed, not panning left and right, just stationary. So he could have been there saying, "Hi, people on the moon, as you can see, the Sea of Tranquility here, there's the mountains in the distance, there's the Earth there, you're looking back up at yourselves there. Over to my right, I can see a fucking monster, there's a monster behind me, oh no, help! Get off my leg! Buzz Aldrin in a monster outfit. Neil doing close-up. Well, they've got me, Houston. The monster's caught me. He wants cash. He's got my hand up behind my back. I think he knows jiu-jitsu. He wants cash for the rest of my life. Send $2 million. Leave it in a bag by the Sea of Tranquility. I don't know, the North Shore. What the fuck? Oh, it would have worked, wouldn't it? Dark Side of the Moon, which is an official NASA video from July 16, 2015. Apparently taken over a 5-hour period and from a distance of 1 million miles away from Earth. Notice that the clouds have no movement over a 5-hour period, and the sunlight is brightly lighting up the Earth, but not so much the quote-unquote dark side of the moon. And now you are looking at another official NASA image from the Apollo 8 mission. This image was taken from the moon on December 24th, 1968. And here is a still image from the previous video that we watched. And do you notice anything weird between the two images? And then now we are going to compare the two images. The one on the left was taken from the surface of the moon, apparently from about 240,000 miles away from the Earth. And the one on the right was taken from 1 million miles away from the Earth, which is over 4 times the distance from the one on the left. Notice anything weird? Apparently in space, the closer you are to Earth, the smaller Earth will seem to be. Do you still trust NASA?
The reading caboose has arrived. I'm Conductor Clark.
And I'm Ms. Janice. Hey, who wants to learn about the letter H?
I do!
Now what can we do with the letter H?
We can hula hoop.
Or?
Create a massive global hoax.
What Ernie's referring to is the Apollo 11 moon landing that supposedly took place on July 20th, 1969.
To quote Neil Armstrong, this is one small step for man.
And one giant lie to mankind.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, Tickle Taker Sam. Sam's been riding the rails ever since mean old Microsoft stole his formula for Windows 95.
Hey, Sam, I hear you've got a story for the kids.
I sure do, Miss Janice, and it's a real whiz-banger. Once upon a time, there was a president named Kennedy.
I promised to put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Mr. President, didn't you also promise civil rights?
That's another story, Trevor. Now excuse me while I go sleep with Judith Exner.
Meanwhile, poor inept NASA couldn't get a rocket into space. Pew!
So they turned to Plan B.
I'm LBJ. Boom! The end of the decade is here, and there's still no Americans on the moon. Those Ruskies are gonna beat us to it.
I'll help you, Mr. President.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Stanley Kubrick, and I'll use some tricks I learned while filming the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey, to fake a moon landing.
And we're the mafia, and we'll fund your scam to build a secret soundstage in Las Vegas.
Good. While people think they're in space, we'll keep the astronauts busy with whores and gambling. Then we'll pay them off, or brainwash them, or kill them.
The end.
Yay! Squawk? But is there any real proof it was a hoax? Squawk?
Is this proof enough, Gully Bird?
Wow!
I used to fly to the moon all the time.
Hobo Dan! Hey, Hobo Dan, how did you fly to the moon?
With the only real astronaut, Dr. Timothy Leary. Oh, Hobo Dan. Hey, that reminds me of a song. This old moon rocket ain't what it appears to be.
Ain't what it appears to be. Ain't what it appears to be.
This old moon rocket ain't what it appears to be because it was baked in a kiln
in Japan.
Yay! Thanks, Hobo Dan. That was fun credible. And the truth.
Uh-oh, someone's ringing the doorbell. To the safe room, kids. To the safe room.
Okay, that's all the time that we have for now. We'll be back with more reading later. Until then, the most important part of reading is reading between the lines.
Sayonara, pigs.
During my time in the Navy, it never once occurred to me that there could be any other possibility that we would have to have lived on a ball Earth. So it wasn't in the purview of anyone around me. It was just never even something ever talked about. There's nothing in the literature that I read that told me one way or the other. But in hindsight, this is all in hindsight. It's only when I look back that I can tell you that everything that we've done to measure sound, everything that we do right now in the open market, things that I can talk about, the actual passive acoustic equipment that's available or the active sonar equipment that's available, all of them do rely on the concept of a flat Earth, even though they don't explicitly say that. There's even some specific equipment that I simply just can't talk about, but it really does, only in hindsight, do I realize this would only work if we're living in a flat environment. In fact, all of our charts were based off that.
Right. Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me at all because so were the radar charts that we worked off of. So in sonar, obviously, if you're in a submarine or something like that,
What kind of ranging did you have? I mean, how far away could you actually detect targets with the sonar?
Well, technically, you could hear a target for as far away as, say, 1,000 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good